Every winter, Europe undergoes a transformation that travel photographers describe as nothing short of magical. 300 million tons of snow cover the continent, turning ordinary cities into scenes from fairy tales. Temperature drops of 20 degrees unlock experiences impossible during summer months. And this winter, with new rail connections and restored historical sites reopening after years of renovation, winter travel in Europe reaches unprecedented accessibility. Cities that receive 12 million summer tourists see barely 1 million in winter, yet locals consistently rate these months as when their home reveals its authentic character. Hotel rates plummet by 60%. Michelin-starred restaurants offer lunch menus at half price, and phenomena like the Northern Lights, Christmas markets dating to the 14th century, and thermal baths used since Roman times become accessible without the crowds. Visitors who chose Europe in winter reported 92% satisfaction rates, higher than any summer statistics. They discovered what seasoned travelers have always known. Winter isn't Europe's off-season. It's when the continent stops performing for tourists and starts living for itself. From Alpine cities where Olympic flames once burned to Arctic outposts where the sun disappears entirely, these destinations represent Europe's winter at its most extraordinary. Each transforms completely between December and March, offering experiences that exist nowhere else at no other time. Innsbruck sits in a valley so dramatic that visitors often struggle to capture it in a single photograph. 6 mountain ranges surround Austria's 5th largest city, creating a natural amphitheater where 2 Winter Olympics unfolded. But what makes Innsbruck exceptional in winter goes beyond its geography. The Nordkette cable car rises 2,000 meters in just 20 minutes, transporting travelers from the city center to peaks where the temperature drops 15 degrees. At the top, the Seegrube station offers something remarkable. You're standing in untouched alpine wilderness, yet the medieval old town lies directly below, its colorful buildings looking like scattered jewels against the snow. Golden Roof, Innsbruck's most photographed landmark, consists of 2,657 fire-gilded copper tiles that shimmer differently in winter light than any other season. The Christmas market beneath it has operated continuously since 1473, making it one of Europe's most authentic. Interlaken's position between Lake Brienz and Lake Thun creates a microclimate that meteorologists call unique in the Alps. While surrounding peaks accumulate 5 meters of snow, the town itself maintains temperatures that rarely drop below -5, making it surprisingly comfortable for winter exploration. The Jungfrau Joch, accessible by Europe's highest railway, sits at 3,454 meters. The journey takes 2 hours through tunnels carved inside the Eiger and Munch mountains. At the summit, the Ice Palace displays sculptures carved from glacier ice that's been frozen for over 3,000 years. The observation deck provides views of the Aletsch Glacier, Western Europe's longest at 23 kilometers. What transforms Interlaken in winter is how the lakes interact with the mountains. Morning mist rises from the water, creating layers of visibility that photographers wait years to capture perfectly. The phenomenon occurs most reliably in January and February, when temperature inversions trap clouds below the town, while peaks remain in brilliant sunshine. But if the Alps represent Europe's winter playground, the Arctic Circle holds something far more primal, where the sun itself disappears, and nature puts on the greatest light show Earth can produce. Tromsø sits 350 kilometers north of the Arctic Circle, in a realm where the sun doesn't rise for 2 months. From November 21st to January 21st, the city exists in what Norwegians call the polar night, yet this darkness becomes Tromsø's greatest attraction. The northern lights appear over Tromsø, an average of 243 nights per year, the highest frequency of any populated area. Local guides know 27 different locations around the city, where light pollution remains minimal enough for optimal viewing. The lights typically begin around 6 in the evening and can continue past 2 in the morning. Green dominates, but photographers regularly capture purple, pink, and even rare blue auroras. Tromsø's cable car, the Fjellheisen, climbs 421 meters in 4 minutes. At the top station, the restaurant Fjellstua serves reindeer and Arctic char, while the entire city spreads below, its lights mirroring the stars above. The Sami people, indigenous to this region for 10,000 years, offer experiences unavailable anywhere else in Europe. Dogs sledding through forests where 300 huskies work in rotation, reindeer feeding where herds of 200 animals surround visitors, and nights in traditional lavu tents heated by central fires. Rovaniemi straddles the Arctic Circle at exactly 66 degrees north. A white line painted across the city marks this geographic boundary. In December, the sun barely rises above the horizon for 2 hours, creating a perpetual blue hour that photographers call otherworldly. The city rebuilt itself completely after World War II, with architect Alvar Aalto designing the street plan to resemble reindeer antlers from above. This becomes visible only from Ounasvaara Hill, where Finland's longest ski season runs from October to May. But Rovaniemi's transformation into a winter destination came from embracing a legend. The Santa Claus village receives 600,000 visitors annually, with its post office processing 2 million letters from children worldwide. These Arctic cities shatter assumptions about polar regions. Instead of emptiness, they pulse with activity throughout the dark months. But while the Arctic embraces eternal darkness, further south, ancient cities use snow as their costume designer, transforming Gothic spires and medieval squares into stages for Europe's greatest winter performances. Prague in winter becomes a different city entirely. The crowds that fill Charles Bridge in summer, sometimes reaching 30,000 daily crossings, drop to barely 5,000. Snow transforms the city's Gothic spires and Baroque domes into something from a medieval manuscript. The castle complex, the largest ancient castle compound globally at 70,000 square meters, looks particularly dramatic when snow outlines every architectural detail. Old Town Square's Christmas market fills with 80 wooden stalls, selling everything from Tradovnik pastries to hand-blown Bohemian glass. The tradition dates to the Holy Roman Empire, though the current iteration began in 1828. Steam rises from mulled wine stands where vendors serve the Czech mulled wine version spiced with cinnamon and cloves. the astronomical clock, installed in 1410, performs its hourly show to smaller audiences who can actually see the Apostles' procession without fighting for position. What locals know but tourists often miss is how Prague's 100-spired skyline changes with winter light. The low sun angle between December and February creates golden hours that last 3 times longer than summer. Petrine Tower, Prague's Eiffel Tower replica at 1/5 scale, offers views where the Vltava River appears like molten silver winding through the snow-dusted city. Kraków preserves medieval Poland better than any other city. The main square, Europe's largest medieval town square at 40,000 square meters, hosts a Christmas market that begins in late November. Unlike commercialized Western European markets, Kraków's maintains its local character. Vendors sell osypek, smoked sheep cheese from the Tatra Mountains, grilled over coal fires that warm frozen hands. Wawel Castle, where Polish kings ruled for 500 years, towers over the Vistula River. In winter, when tourist numbers drop by 70%, visitors can actually appreciate the Leonardo da Vinci painting, Lady with an Ermine without crowds. The Jewish quarter of Kazimierz transforms winter evenings into something special. Klezmer music echoes from cellar restaurants where candles provide the only light. The contrast between these two cities shows Eastern Europe's range, where Prague dazzles with architectural grandeur, Kraków captivates through intimate moments. Yet beyond these cities of stone and history, Europe saves its most dramatic winter theater for the mountains, places where altitude changes everything, and winter means living in clouds. Chamonix sits in a valley so deep that the sun doesn't reach the town center for 100 days each winter. Mont Blanc, Western Europe's highest peak, at 4,808 meters, dominates every view. This isn't just a ski resort. It's the birthplace of extreme skiing, where the first Winter Olympics took place in 1924. The Aiguille du Midi cable car ascends 2,800 vertical meters in 20 minutes, reaching 3,842 meters, where the temperature typically sits 30 degrees below the valley floor. At the summit, the glass box called Step into the Void extends over a 1,000-meter drop. On clear days, you see the Matterhorn, Monte Rosa, and the Grand Combin. The Vallée Blanche Glacier run stretches 20 kilometers through crevasse fields and seracs, accessible only with certified guides. Chamonix's transformation in winter goes beyond skiing. The Mer de Glace, France's longest glacier at 7 kilometers, reveals ice caves carved fresh each year. The crystalline blue interior maintains a constant temperature of -2 degrees. The Montenvers Railway, operating since 1908, climbs 1,000 meters through forests that disappear into clouds. Zakopane calls itself Poland's winter capital, and the statistics support this claim. The town of 27,000 residents hosts 3 million visitors annually, with 60% arriving between December and March. The Tatra Mountains, the only Alpine-style range between the Alps and the Caucasus, create a unique microclimate. Traditional Highlander culture, the Goral, remains stronger here than anywhere in Poland. Wooden architecture, using no nails, a UNESCO-recognized building style, lines Krupoki Street, horse-drawn sleighs, transport visitors through valleys where wolves and lynx still hunt. The thermal pools at Chokolowska, fed by springs 3,600 meters underground, maintain 36-degree temperatures while snow falls on bathers' heads. Gubalovka Hill, accessible by funicular railway, provides the perspective to understand Zakopane's position. The town sits in a bowl surrounded by peaks exceeding 2,500 meters. When temperature inversions trap clouds below, Zakopane floats above a sea of white. From France's extreme sports capital to Poland's traditional mountain culture, these destinations prove mountains mean more than just skiing. But if mountains provide winter's playground, Christmas markets deliver its soul. Two cities perfected this tradition over centuries, turning December into a month-long celebration of light against darkness. Cologne Cathedral took 632 years to complete, finally finished in 1880. Its twin spires, each 157 meters high, become the backdrop for Germany's most visited Christmas market. 4 million people pass through the market at the cathedral's base each winter, browsing 160 wooden pavilions spread across 7 locations throughout the city. What makes Cologne's markets exceptional is their specialization. The market at Neumarkt focuses on crafts, with artisans demonstrating glassblowing and wood carving. The harbor market at the Chocolate Museum features a floating stage where performances happen nightly. The medieval market at Rudolfplatz recreates Christmas as it existed 500 years ago, with vendors in period costumes selling items made using historical techniques. Cologne's brewhouses, 24 of them serving Kölsch beer exclusively, transform into winter refuges. These aren't tourist attractions but local institutions where the same families have operated for centuries. Servers carry wooden trays holding 11 glasses, replacing empty ones without being asked. The warmth inside contrasts dramatically with the Rhine riverfront, where lights reflect off water that occasionally carries ice flows from the Alps. Strasbourg holds the title Capital of Christmas, officially, granted by the European Council. The Christkindlesmarkt, dating from 1570, makes it Europe's oldest documented Christmas market. 300 stalls spread across 12 locations throughout the historic center, the medieval center that UNESCO recognizes as a World Heritage Site. The Great Christmas Tree at Place Kleber stands 30 meters high, decorated with 7 kilometers of lights. But Strasbourg's magic comes from transforming every street into part of the celebration. 500 kilometers of light garlands connect buildings, creating illuminated pathways through the city. Each district decorates according to different themes. The Petite France Quarter focuses on traditional Alsatian decorations, while the Cathedral Square features contemporary light installations. Strasbourg Cathedral's astronomical clock, a masterpiece of Renaissance engineering, performs special shows during market season. The pink sandstone facade, illuminated from sunset, appears to glow from within. These two cities perfected Christmas markets over centuries. Modern celebrations elsewhere merely imitate what Cologne and Strasbourg created. Yet away from famous markets and crowded squares, Europe hides winter destinations that locals guard jealously, places where fairy tales feel documentary, and Transylvania isn't just about vampires. Colmar looks like an illustration from a children's book, especially under snow. The capital of Alsatian wine country transforms completely between December and February. Half-timbered houses from the 14th century lean over canals in the quarter called Little Venice. When these waterways freeze, the reflections of colored buildings create abstract patterns that change with the light. Six Christmas markets operate within Colmar's old town, each with distinct character. The Place des Dominicans market happens inside a church, where vendors sell crafts under Gothic vaulting. The covered market at Coifus, the old customs house from 1480, focuses on regional food products. Producers from surrounding villages bring cheeses, foie gras, and wines that never reach export markets. The Unterlinden Museum houses the Isenheim altarpiece, Matthias Grunewald's masterpiece from 1516. Winter visitors often have the gallery to themselves, able to study details invisible when summer crowds fill the space. The Bartholdi Museum, birthplace of the Statue of Liberty's creator, displays models showing how the famous sculpture evolved from concept to completion. Brașov guards the passage between Wallachia and Transylvania, a position that shaped 800 years of history. The Black Church, Eastern Europe's largest Gothic church between Vienna and Istanbul, earned its name from a 1689 fire that blackened its walls. Inside, 119 Ottoman rugs, the largest collection outside Turkey, lined the walls. Council Square, where medieval merchants once traded, becomes an ice skating rink in winter. The Baroque buildings surrounding it, painted in yellows, blues and greens, create Romania's most photographed urban landscape. But Brașov's winter appeal comes from its proximity to wilderness. Brown bears, Europe's largest population outside Russia, descend to the city's edges seeking food. Bran Castle, marketed as Dracula's castle, though Vlad the Impaler spent only days there, sits 30 kilometers from Brașov. In winter, without the 800,000 annual tourists crowding its corridors, the castle reveals its true character as a medieval fortress. These overlooked destinations offer authenticity that famous cities lost to mass tourism. But authenticity takes different forms. On the Baltic Sea, where medieval merchants built an empire from amber and salt, one city preserves the Middle Ages so perfectly that walking its streets feels like time travel. Tallinn's medieval walls remain 80% intact, the most complete city fortifications in Northern Europe. 26 defensive towers still stand from the original 46, creating a skyline unchanged since the Hanseatic League dominated Baltic trade. In winter, when Baltic Sea ice occasionally reaches the harbor, Tallinn feels suspended in time. The old town, divided between the upper town and lower town, preserves medieval social structure in its geography. Nobility lived above, merchants below. This division becomes dramatic in winter, when fog fills the lower town while Toompea remains in sunshine. The phenomenon occurs regularly in January and February, creating ethereal photographs from the viewing platform. Tallinn's Christmas market at Town Hall Square wins awards annually for its authenticity. The tradition of displaying a Christmas tree here dates to 1441, making it arguably the world's first public Christmas tree. Estonian crafts dominate the 50 stalls. Mittens knitted in patterns specific to individual islands, felt made from sheep wool using techniques unchanged for centuries, and juniper wood carved into kitchen implements. What surprises winter visitors is Tallinn's underground life. Medieval merchants built extensive cellars for storage, many now converted to restaurants. These vaulted spaces maintain constant temperatures around 10 degrees, making them perfect winter refuges. Rataskavu 16, operating since 1402, claims to be Europe's oldest continuously operating restaurant. Estonia's digital advancement contrasts dramatically with its medieval architecture. This is the world's first country offering e-residency, where cryptocurrency transactions happen in buildings from the 13th century. Tallinn proves Baltic cities offer more than Scandinavian alternatives at lower prices. They provide experiences unavailable elsewhere in Europe. Speaking of experiences unavailable elsewhere, one European capital built its entire existence around something bubbling beneath its streets. Where Romans once bathed, modern Europeans discovered that paradise involves floating in hot water while snow falls on your face. Budapest exists because of thermal water. 123 springs produce 70 million liters daily, feeding baths that Romans first built 2,000 years ago. In winter, the temperature difference between thermal pools and freezing air creates a surreal experience available nowhere else at this scale. Zhešnyi Baths, Europe's largest public thermal complex, becomes extraordinary after dark. Steam rises from 3 outdoor pools, while snow falls on bathers playing chess in 38-degree water. The neo-Baroque buildings, illuminated yellow against winter darkness, reflect in the pool's surface. Saturday night parties, where DJs perform while guests float in thermal water, attract young Europeans who've discovered Budapest's unique nightlife. Jeles Baths, built in Art Nouveau style in 1918, offers a more refined experience. The columned pool room, with its glass ceiling and mosaic tiles, belongs in a palace rather than a public bath. Budapest's winter appeal extends beyond thermal baths. The Parliament building, with its 691 rooms and 40 kilograms of gold decoration, reflects in the Danube when ice flows past. The chain bridge, first permanent bridge between Buda and Pest, carries special significance in winter. During Christmas season, thousands of LED lights outline its structure, creating reflections that double in the river. Ruin bars unique to Budapest reach peak atmosphere in winter. These abandoned buildings converted to bars feel especially dramatic when snow falls in their open courtyards. Semper Kurt, the original ruin bar, fills multiple floors of a former factory with mismatched furniture and art installations. The Central Market Hall, Budapest's largest indoor market, provides winter comfort impossible in outdoor markets. 3 floors of vendors sell paprika, four grace, and Tokaji wine. No city combines thermal culture with urban sophistication like Budapest. Winter only intensifies this unique mixture. But for the ultimate winter city, we must travel to where Europe meets the Arctic Ocean, to an island where fire and ice coexist, and winter isn't something to survive, but something to celebrate. Reykjavik shouldn't exist where it does. The world's northernmost capital sits at 64 degrees north, further than most of Alaska, yet the Gulf Stream keeps temperatures around 0 in winter, warmer than many European cities at lower latitudes. This geographic anomaly creates conditions found nowhere else. The sun rises at 11 in December, sets at 3, providing 4 hours of daylight that photographers call magic hour. The quality of light, filtered through Arctic atmosphere, makes colors appear more saturated than elsewhere. Buildings painted in bright blues, reds, and yellows aren't just aesthetic choices, they're psychological necessities during long winters. Northern lights appear over Reykjavik on clear nights from September to April. Unlike remote locations requiring expeditions, here they dance above the city. Locals receive alerts on phones when activity increases. The Grotta Lighthouse, a 15-minute walk from downtown, provides darkness sufficient for viewing while maintaining city accessibility. Blue Lagoon might be Iceland's most famous attraction, but Reykjavik's 7 public thermal pools offer authentic local experience. These aren't tourist attractions, but community centers where parliament members discuss politics next to fishermen. The unwritten rules: shower naked before entering, sit in progressively hotter tubs, cool off in snow, provide cultural immersion impossible in guidebooks. Hallgrímskirkja Church. Its design, inspired by basalt columns formed when lava cools, rises 74.5 meters over the city. The elevator to its top provides 360-degree views where Iceland's extremes become visible. Glaciers, volcanoes, ocean, and mountains surround a capital of only 140,000 people. On winter's clearest days, you see Snæfellsjökull Glacier 120 kilometers away, Jules Verne's entrance to Earth's center. Reykjavik transforms winter from something to endure into something to celebrate. Oroblot Festival in February embraces the darkest period with traditional foods that challenge foreign palates. Fermented shark, sheep's head, and schnapps represent survival culture from centuries when winter meant isolation. This city proves winter destinations needn't apologize for their climate. They can embrace it completely. Our journey ends with 2 cities that bookend Europe's winter experience. One wraps winter in imperial elegance and waltz music. The other stands where mountains meet fjords, proving that Europe's winter magic extends to its very edges. Vienna waltzes through winter with imperial elegance, unmatched in Europe. The Ringstrasse, the boulevard encircling the old town, becomes an outdoor gallery of illuminated architecture. The State Opera, Parliament, City Hall, and Bergtheater glow against winter darkness, their facades detailed by strategic lighting installed for the season. Coffee house culture reaches perfection in winter. These aren't cafes but institutions where newspapers hang on wooden racks, waiters wear tuxedos, and staying 4 hours over one melange is expected. Café Central, where Trotsky played chess before the revolution, maintains marble columns and vaulted ceilings that echo conversations. Demel, confectioner to the imperial court, displays cakes that qualify as architecture. The chocolate cake that sparked a legal battle over naming rights tastes different in winter, its richness matching the season. Vienna's Christmas markets avoid commercialization through strict quality controls. The Schönbrunn Palace Market, set against the 1,441-room Baroque Palace, allows only Austrian vendors. The Spittelberg Market fills narrow medieval streets with artisan workshops where buyers watch their purchases being made. The Prater Market offers free amusement park rides with market entry, the giant Ferris wheel providing views across illuminated Vienna. Bergen proves Norway offers more than Arctic experiences. The city receives 240 days of rain annually, earning the nickname Rain City. But winter brings something different. When high-pressure systems arrive, the 7 mountains surrounding Bergen emerge from clouds, their snow-covered peaks reflecting in the harbor. The UNESCO World Heritage Site of Bryggen, wooden buildings from the Hanseatic League, survives here better than anywhere. These structures, built without modern materials, lasted 400 years through fires and floods. In winter, without cruise ship crowds, visitors can explore narrow passages between buildings where medieval merchants once lived. The funicular railway to Mount Florian operates year-round, climbing 320 meters in 8 minutes. At the top, marked trails lead through forests to viewpoints impossible to reach in summer when undergrowth blocks paths. The fish market, operating continuously since the 1200s, reaches peak quality in winter when cold waters produce the best catches. These final destinations remind us that winter in Europe isn't about enduring cold. It's about discovering what only exists when temperatures drop, crowds vanish, and cities reveal their true character. "17 destinations, 10 chapters, one season that transforms an entire continent." From Tromsø's polar nights, where darkness becomes the canvas for nature's greatest light show, to Vienna's coffee houses where time stops for sake torte and conversation. From France's peaks where Olympic flames once burned, to Budapest's thermal baths where Romans first discovered paradise. Each destination offers something that cannot be replicated, cannot be experienced in summer, cannot be found anywhere else. The numbers tell one story. Hotel rates dropping 60%, tourist crowds shrinking from millions to thousands, restaurants offering half-price menus, but the real story lives in moments that statistics cannot capture. Steam rising from thermal pools while snow falls, northern lights reflecting in Norwegian fjords, Christmas markets operating in the same squares for 600 years, medieval cities revealing details that summer crowds obscure. Winter in Europe rewards those who understand that cold isn't an obstacle but an invitation, that shorter days create longer golden hours, that snow doesn't close cities but opens them to possibilities invisible in summer. Every local knows this truth. They wait all year for tourists to leave, for their cities to return to them, for winter to reveal what makes each place extraordinary. journey from Innsbruck to Bergen, from Reykjavik to Brașov, proves that Europe saves its best secrets for winter. Not despite the cold, but because of it. Not when it's easy to travel, but when it's worth it. Because in winter, Europe stops performing and starts living. And for those brave enough to join, the continent offers its greatest gift. Not just destinations to visit, but transformations to experience.